What's going on, y'all? Thanks for checking in with Callie. Please like, subscribe if you haven't already. You know, I've been up pretty much all night, not really got no sleep or anything like that, but it doesn't really matter. We celebrating. You know, Clippers got to the playoffs. That was a crazy game with the Warriors, as I expected it to be. I mean, you know, the big guns came out. Steph scored well. Jimmy Butler did good. You know, James Harden had 39, and like James Harden did great. I mean, you know, especially down the stretch. That's the James Harden we need to see. Hopefully we see that James Harden in the playoffs. And Kawhi just being Kawhi, you know, 33 points. I mean, he was just basically terminating shit. You know what I mean? So it came out to how it was supposed to. I thought the Clippers would find a way to win, because I feel like the Clippers definitely knew they needed to get it more because of their superstars' health issues in Kawhi Leonard. So, you know, with that being said, along with the fact that the Clippers had opportunity to rest a lot more, well, that definitely, you know, was something that they implemented. Definitely Ty Lue implemented to them before that game started and prior to even the day of that game even being played. So I'm glad the Clippers got the win. One thing that concerns me a little bit, well, of course, it's two things. The one, of course, is that the James Harden we're going to get, you know, in the playoffs, though. Because, see, in the playoffs, you got to realize a lot of foul calls that they give you in the regular season, they don't give you in the playoffs sometimes. Sometimes you get referees that let you play. And if James Harden isn't getting those foul calls where he's going to the free throw line, getting those extra points, you know, giving his team a better chance to win, and while he's shooting pretty efficient as well, that can hinder the Clippers. And I need James Harden to understand, don't focus on the free throw line. Don't focus on getting there. Focus on really actually doing your job to the highest degree. Don't take ill-advised shots. Be prepared mentally. You know, stay focused and take high percentage shots as possible. The most high percentage shots you can take. If he does that, I feel like the Clippers' chances are better. Now, number two, Norman Powell. Norman Powell played like 40 minutes and barely, it didn't give us double digits. And he's had games before where he's logged in a lot of minutes like that and barely gave us double digits, like 10 points somewhere in there. You know, it's like, I don't know, since that injury he had, he's really slowed down a lot. And I know because Kawhi's back in the lineup, you know, he has to kind of, you know, make room because Kawhi is the best player still. But you still got to be effective when the ball comes your way. You still got to be ready. And I feel like hopefully Norman Powell can like pick up the pace a little bit, even if he doesn't score 20 plus points a game. If he can give the Clippers 17, 18 consistently a game in the playoffs with a breakout game here and there, that'll really be all they need from Norman Powell. You know, but he has to be a little bit more consistent. And you, like I said, you can't play 40 minutes and damn near score less than double-digit points. That's just not going to help the Clippers. Because, I mean, if he scores 15, 16 points that game, it's not even going into overtime. It doesn't even go that far. It really doesn't. So, I mean, there again, you need all your big guns to show up. I'm not worried about Kawhi Leonard because he's proved to me many times his efficiency, who he is. When it comes time for big games, you know what you're getting out of Kawhi. Like yesterday, I mean, I knew Kawhi was scoring 30 plus points. I knew it. It wasn't even an issue in my mind. Now, everybody else, James Harden, the rest, and all them, I wasn't sure. But I knew Kawhi was giving me 30 plus points in a game like that. It's not even debatable. See, because you know what he's going to do. But the rest they're going to follow along and give him the support he needs so they can win. And that's what it really comes down to. And I hope that that's what we see in the playoffs, because, like I said, this is one of their last opportunities to really try to make this work and go at least have a deep playoff run, because it's all been riddled with injuries. It's all been, you know, all that for the last 5-6 years. So hopefully this is the year they can, you know, get past all that and, you know, make it work. Either way, they got Denver the first round. And, that's going to be a tough matchup, simply because, you know, if Jamal Murray's healthy, him and Jokic is pretty tough together in the playoffs. And they got a pretty good, well-rounded team. The biggest difference is for the Clippers against them now, since way years ago in the bubble, they don't have Mike Malone. Denver doesn't have the same coach. So, I mean, we got to see exactly what adjustments needs to be made when they match up in the playoffs. See who comes up with the better adjustments coaching-wise. I would think Ty Lue would, because, Ty Lue has been, coaching, this team, the Clippers, for a while now, for several years, and the chemistry should be there a lot more than with the newest coach for the Denver Nuggets. So it's gonna be tough though, because Jokic is just a handful. He just is, and Jamal Murray plays good in the playoffs. Kawhi plays great in the playoffs. You know what I mean? So it's not going to be a cakewalk, that's for sure. And I hope nobody really sits there and think that it's going to be, because you wouldn't want to put yourself in that position and set yourself up that way. So I expect it to be a very competitive series. I'm thinking Clippers in 6. I think the Clippers can take them down in 6 games. I think it's imperative to me that the Clippers get the first game. That's just my opinion. Not saying the Clippers can't win the series if they lose the first game of the series, but it's imperative that they get the first game so they can give themselves that opportunity to have that home court advantage, because you get the first game, of course, and hypothetically you lose the second one. You got a couple home games that you can go to and get a 3-1 lead or something like that with potentially, and then, close the series out from there. Now, me knowing Kawhi, the player that he is, Kawhi is the type of player where his mentality is, we want both games in Denver. He doesn't want to go back home 1-1 or 0-2 or anything, even though Kawhi has been in those situations before, and he's played outstanding being down 0-2. He's played outstanding being down or being tied 1-1. He's been in those situations many a times. Just a few years ago with Dallas, with Luka and the Dallas Mavericks, they were down 0-2, and they came back and won in 6 or 7 games, because Kawhi is that good. When Kawhi is locked in, he's one of the best players in the league, if not the best. My eyes, he's the best. But, to paraphrase it for the NBA world, he's one of the best when he's healthy. To me, he's the best player when healthy, because I just haven't seen many players that can do the things that Kawhi Leonard can do at the level and the heights that he does, and do it so effortlessly and be efficient at the same time. Can lock up on one end, score 30 plus points on the other end, affect the game so much because of his defense and his presence. As I said before, his bag is different than any other player in the league. No other player in the league is comparable to Kawhi Leonard. Not one. Young player, old player, whatever. He's in his own solar system to me. He's on his own planet. You know what I mean? So it's going to be a tough series, like I said. I'm very anticipating for it. I really like the matchup. I feel like the Clippers have a lot of advantages because they got more scorers. They got more guys. Well, I can say that. They got just as good as scorers, but they got better defenders to me. I like Chris Dunn, matching up with Jamal Murray at times. I like Derrick Jones Jr. Going up against, MPJ. I like that matchup. And every now and then, you got Zubac in the paint. He's not going to do much to Jokic because Jokic is just that skilled. But now that Zubac can score more points and he's more of a offensive threat, and he's a better rebounder, I feel like he's securing boards a lot more this year than he has. He's going to give Jokic more of a run than Jokic has ever had playing against him in prior years. So it all balances out. And then on top of that, to me, that puts icing on the cake. To me, Kawhi is the best player in the series. And when you have the best player in the series, well, the series is pretty much over after 6 games.